Hi there! So today, for this video, I want to tell you more about Fiberfreaks. As I mentioned in my introduction video, I believe it's going to be the next cotton. But not only that, for what I've seen so far, I think Power Vapors will be very happy about it because it's very pure, the density is quite right, there's no aftertaste, and it soaks in liquid very well. So I will make a close-up of the product and how to handle it. So if you haven't switched to HD to properly view the details of the product in close-up, please do it now. I'll try to make a test to show you how well it soaks in the liquid compared to silica, compared to Japanese cotton. But first, before that, I want to tell you more about cotton and Fiberfreaks because Mahood, the guy behind this project, has done research very thoroughly for almost a year, more than a year, about all the materials that can be used in vaping gears. So he also has made a lot of research on the manufacturing process of the cotton, and that's why this product is not cotton. And then I will end by telling you more facts about Fiberfreaks that are to be known to me because are important. So let's get started. So very quickly I'm going to go through what I found out about cotton, its manufacturing process, and what Fiberfreaks has done and has innovated. If you're not interested in that, just skip to the test part and the close-up videos, but I believe it's very important information to have that I found out and I'm going to share with you very quickly. So maybe you know cotton is almost pure cellulose. As you can see, here is a sample of the finest cotton we use in vaping gears. It's almost pure because compared to the Fiberfreaks, it's not totally white, pure white, and it has some residues. You see the little points there. And here is a sample of Fiberfreaks density 1 cellulose. And this here, you can see a pure white. It's pure cellulose, and there's no residue. So that's one of the main differences. The second difference is the manufacturing process. Maybe you have done some research by yourself, but what I found out surfing the web is that the manufacturing process of cotton consumes huge amount of water, insane amount. What I found out, for example, I'm going to put the link below in the description part, a report made by the Stockholm Environment Institute in 2005. So in 10 years, I believe there's been improvements, but still, at that time, it took 2,000 liters of water to make 1 kilogram of cotton, usable cotton. So it takes into account the water needed to feed the plants, the water needed to treat the cotton, to rinse it and all. Fiberfreaks, they use wood, then they process it with an enzyme to obtain the cellulose. The wood is from an eco-managed forest, so it means there is no impact on deforestation, so there's one good point. The enzyme is not only reusable but also non-toxic, so that's a second good point. And then you obtain a pure white cellulose. What else? So compared to cotton, this manufacturing process uses 95% less water. They decrease the amount of land used by 80% and also decrease the carbon footprint by 30%. So those are, for me, the innovative approach Mahood, the guy behind this whole project, came up with. So there are a lot of good reasons to use it. The eco-friendly part, the manufacturing process, but what interests you most is the performance part of the Fiberfreaks. So let's go to the close-up part of the video. Okay, now let's move on to a close-up of this Fiber Freaks Density 1 and this Fiber Freaks Density 2. I'm going to show you both so you can grasp the difference. Well, this one is a bit messy because I've been using it already. The Density 1, you detach it with your hands. The feel is very much similar to regular cotton that you buy in the supermarket or the pharmacy. It's very loose and airy. You can sense a bit of elasticity there, and I believe it helps. Well, I mean, there's a lot of air between the little fibers of cellulose, so it helps to keep the liquid and even more liquid between the space. I've cut out a little bit just to show you. Let's get a close-up. And I formed it into a little wick to be ready to be used. Yeah. So that one's great. It's the first one I came across at the VAP Expo in Paris, and as I said, it's very loose and it helps keep the liquid very well. And that one is the Density 2. You can see the difference. It comes in pads, more likely. You cannot detach it with your hands, so you use a scissors to cut it, and it's more like Japanese cotton, kinda, in its shape. Still, there are a lot of difference between them. Here is the Japanese cotton. I've cut out a little bit, so as you can see in close-up, if it can focus, yeah. So with the Density 2, you just cut out the right amount, the right dimension you need. Same as the Japanese cotton. What I don't very like with the Japanese cotton is that it falls apart. It lacks cohesion, and here you have it. You cut exactly the amount you want, because I use very little material doing my builds, as I don't do power vaping. And then it's ready to use, as simple as that. And I like that one better than the Density 2. I don't know, maybe it's easier to use to me, but both are really good. Sorry for that. Okay, now moving on to the test. Here we have silica, basic stuff, eco wool. If you are still using one of those two, you're out of date. There's better, far better. That is the Japanese cotton there. And then comes the Density 1 here and the Density 2 in the middle. Here is a little bit unfair because we have a Japanese cotton that's twice as thick, I believe. Twice as thick as the Fiber Freak. So I'm going to remove some. And here we are. So this test is not meant to it's not really meant to show you any performance or which one holds more juice, because the reason why is that those two already have different densities. It means that the air space between the fibers are less here than here, so theoretically this one would hold more juice. And for the cotton, we have no idea, so we can't compare them. Still, we might observe some behavior of those three materials. So I'm going to use a little bottle of PGVG, nothing else, no nicotine, no nothing, just to show you. Okay, so for the silica, it's just for the record. I'm going to soak it in generously. Same for the eco wool. There. I'm gonna drown it because that one, as you might know, doesn't like liquid very much in the end. When you heat it and use it in an atomizer, it's better, but As you can see in the silica, you can still see some white fibers, which means it's not soaked in liquid. And for the eco wool, it's very worse. Okay, so I'm going to put, I'd say, the same amount of drops on each of them, even if it's not a performance which one holds more juice test, but I'll do so. So 3, 4, 5, 3, 4, 5, 5, no, be to the side, soaked in, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This one has been 6 drops, so 6, 6, 11 each. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Now what I want to show you, we're gonna make it stick to the dark table plastic thing. Okay. So what we can see, and what I wanted to show you, is that here you can see it's white. It's not as translucent as those. It means, to me at least, that there are more fibers in it. The density is quite high. As for those two, this one seems a little bit darker than the density 2, right? And that's right, because this one is more dense, it has more fibers than this one that is less dense. And what I wanted to show you here is that those two here that are less dense than the cotton means that there are more space between the little fibers of cellulose, means they can hold more liquid. That's just what I wanted to show you. Well, I hope that the close-up video and the test were informative enough for you. Those weren't supposed to be any kind of scientific explanation or demonstration at all. I just wanted to show you the behavior of this new material when in contact with liquid, how well the fiber freak soaks in juice, and also the different densities compared to what's available on the market. All this just to give you a rational explanation as to why, theoretically, the fiber freaks is better, and why to me it is the best out there. Because I believe there is a balance to be found between how well the material soaks in juice, but also how well it delivers back the liquid in form of vapor when you heat it, when you have to use it. And this is, I think, the reason why silica and eco wool doesn't work well, because they are so dense, all the fibers together, that it can soak some liquid, but delivering it, it's harder because the liquid is trapped. So, well, that's just my point of view. So much for the explanation part. I wanted to talk to you about a subject that's very important to me. It's the safety part. Because not only Mahout has done a lot of research on that, but also because for all the materials we use in our vaping gears, there are very little information available on the process, on how it's chemically treated or not, or how it's sterilized or not. So here on the website of Fiber Freaks, for the moment it's only in French, but Mahout is working on it, you can see a list of norms. A list of strict norms that the raw material complies with. There are medical material norms and food contact norms. I'm not an expert in that field, but to me it's quite reassuring, right? So I think it's worth mentioning. But more importantly, the sterilizing process of the fiber freaks doesn't use any chemicals. And I think it's great. It's only using a standard moist heat sterilization process. That's it. Mahout told me it's a bit tweaked to add an eco-friendly part of this process and to be less water consuming and all. energy consuming. Well, he'll give you the details. Anyway, I think I talked about pretty much everything. Some facts about the fiber freaks: maybe it resists to 460 degrees Celsius, so that doesn't mean you can dry burn it. It just means there's a bit more safety to it than cotton. I can feel it when I use it. It doesn't burn as quickly as cotton, and also even when it burns, the taste isn't as horrible as cotton because, well, of the purity. I think there is less residue. So I think we have here something that's really great, quite innovative, and that power vapors will be fond of. And I invite you to try it, because I hope you will be as stunned as I was when I first just saw my sample of Fiber Freaks at the Vape Expo. I could see it, it's great, and I could feel it before even using it. So I hope you will have the same reaction as me, and keep yourself updated on the website, because I know that Mahood is working on other projects and I don't know what, but this is just the beginning. Fiber Freaks Density 1 and 2. I believe there will be other things coming in the year to come. So thank you for watching. If you have any question, please just leave a comment there below. If there are things to be clarified, I can still change, re-update the video or whatever. So thank you for watching, and see you around.